It was like any other day at Foxwood Apartments in Panama City, around 12:40 in the afternoon and just 4 days away from Christmas. School let out early and children scurried around the basketball court and playground. Residents and friends were out and about, and the complex was full of life. But little did they know so many would soon become eyewitnesses to a murder case.
A lot of things like this usually occur in the nighttime hours in an area that's discreet. This was pretty blatant. It was in an apartment complex that was saturated with adults and kids. You know, there was no regard for any of the citizens or anything of that nature. So
22-year-old Alton Mills was shot in the chest in plain sight in 2016, but in the days and weeks following the murder, no suspect was arrested. It's Panama City Police Department's most recent cold case.
Even though we do believe there are more people that did see something, that just either for whatever their reasons were afraid to come forward. It still is an active, ongoing case. We periodically would receive a tip, we would follow the lead, and that's the current status of the case. We have a review case file, which is the totality of what we have up to this point, that is sent to the state attorney's office for their review.
Corporal Jordan Hoffman says there were no surveillance video cameras on the property, but this particular incident has sparked community improvements.
The complex does go to extreme lengths, especially now more than in times past, to ensure that there's video, that residents who live in there are actually on the lease, and that you don't have a lot of people who don't live there hanging around and loitering. That's not been the case in times past, but they are making strides to do that.
Although it's still unclear who did it, Mills's Facebook page provides a window into his life leading up to the day he was murdered. He was apparently using his account as a means to sell drugs, and it's also apparent he could have been involved in a dangerous Glenwood group. This is a warning message from his aunt just days before his death. Redacted and interpreted, it reads, "You have kids to worry about, not the people out here in these streets. Because when you're locked up, which one of your homeboys will put money on your books? Take care of your kids. None of them. Sit down and be a father." His response, "I'm good, Auntie. Not going to jail." And she wasn't the only one trying to warn him. Hear others say chill, and they aren't playing with you no more. His response again, "I'm good, yo." Corporal Hoffman says he and his team worked to get to the bottom of it.
One of the things that we did since the case, we were asking for the community's help, because we knew that there were other people who more than likely seen things that they're just afraid to come forward with, and we really wanted to, empower the residents to take back the community at that point. So we did it with, I believe it was a prayer circle, and we had other agencies and other members of the community come into the apartment complex in an attempt to empower those residents to feel some type of security, and maybe they would hopefully come forward with information on this case.
No tips have led investigators to Alton Mills's killer. He is still on the loose. If you saw anything at all, you're asked to say something. Call the Panama City Police Department or your local Crime Stoppers with any information you may have. You can also remain anonymous. In Bay County, for News 13, I'm Amber Spradley, Panhandle Strong.